We are live.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. No,
Saturday.
not Friday. Saturday. I'm all out of sorts now. Making sure everything. Yep. Okay. The music is gone. Just wanted to make sure the music wasn't playing and we couldn't hear it. Hope y'all have had a great Saturday, everybody. We've got a great show lined out for y'all this evening. We're back, and we'll be back with David Nakayama and all the Unknown Comics crew in Hawaii shortly. But first, let's go ahead and let's talk about our giveaways for tonight.
Yes.
You want to go ahead and do that?
So we're doing 2 giveaways. Mm-hmm. We're doing our Facebook shares. Tonight we're doing our other giveaway on the YouTubes.
The YouTubes.
So you can share, you can like or subscribe, hit the bell, anything that will help promote the channel, and let us know in the YouTube comments. You'll enter in the drawing.
So Facebook share contest, YouTube subscribe support contest.
Yeah.
Let's say that. Yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead and show off the books that we have for the giveaway. The same exclusives for this week. So let's go ahead and just go to the window. Technology. We have can you move that punch bowl? There we go. Can you move the punch bowl? Well, yeah, fine, whatever. You need it. I'm just trying to get on the camera here, Tanner. So we have the Red Sonja 15, the Jimbo Salgado cover. We have the Trade and Virgin of the Miko Sawaiyan Alien #1 exclusive with the perfect organism. Then the Mastrazo Trade and Virgin of Alien #1. And then Miko's Carnage Black, White, and Blood, the Venom Spidey Reflection cover. So 7 books. We will do a set of each for the Facebook share contest and the YouTube subscribe and support contest. Cool. Well, I will let me peek in on the Hawaii crew real quick. Let's see. Guys, are y'all ready to go over there? Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and put y'all through. They can't hear y'all right now. I was being very sneaky with how I was putting this through, so hang on. Oh, that's not what y'all don't need to hear yourselves. That's wrong. There we go. Hi, David.
Hi, how's it going?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I should say aloha. How's it going? I'm doing well.
Well, howdy. There you go. We're crossing cultures here.
Yes, we are. Building bridges.
That's going to be a long bridge.
That is a very long, very expensive bridge. And I'm pretty sure a shipping container ship will somehow clog it up and break it.
No, a semi. It would be a semi to clog a bridge.
Well, that's true. Dang it.
Ruining everything, Tanner.
Thanks, Tanner. All right, guys. Well, we'll go ahead and we'll throw it to y'all to take it away.
Awesome.
So hey guys, it's Darren with Unknown Comics. I am here with Chris, Amy, Sabrina, and of course our guest of honor, David Nakayama. We are so excited to be in day 2, hanging out with David in this miserable place called Hawaii, which by the way has been so much fun. This has probably been, one of the more relaxing trips that I've been on for signings. So thank you for, doing all this great work to force us to have to come out here and do this. So now, David, you are from Hawaii, correct?
That's true. I still live in the same house I grew up in.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. So you lived in the States. You said you traveled around there for a while you were doing your video game stuff.
Yeah.
And did we talk yesterday, like what decided to bring you back to Hawaii?
Well, the short answer is comics, pretty much. I was in a 12-year run in video games, and even about 5 years in, I started to miss comics. I had done comics before, and I was missing them. I started doing covers sort of as a moonlighting kind of thing. I'd get home from the game job, and then I'd start my second job. That's how much I liked it. After a while, it started getting busy. The cover thing was really starting to take off. And at the same time, my wife was wanting a change, and she actually proposed that we come back to Hawaii. So it just was a good confluence of events, and it worked out. And it's been all comics and freelance art all the time, and it's going great.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. With some of just your more recent, just huge hits, like we were talking about at lunch a couple days ago. Like, if you follow David's career for the followers, I definitely encourage you to go see the books that he has done for KRS Comics and for Sanctum Sanctorum. I mean, if you don't have a much more, I mean, your cereal box concept that you've done with Sanctum Sanctorum is probably your most iconic cover set that you've done to date. That's most recognizable, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's probably reasonable. I think our color bleed is there as well, but that was the first long form set, the first 5 of anything that I had done, in the retailer, area. So that helps. And it's pretty distinctive. I don't think anybody had done that before. So that helps too.
Absolutely not. It was just so cool to see, because the characters, because you started with Venom, and then from Venom you moved on to you've done some for DC. Now, have you done for any other publishers to date?
No. I have been asked by a couple of people who liked the theme and wanted to try it, but I kind of felt like that concept belonged with the retailers who started it, so we've honored that so far.
You should tell those publishers you should reach out to that store and have them do it, and then that's a way that everybody's happy.
There you go.
Some other questions that we were talking about. So as we've done this color bleed, we've done, let's see, what have we done on this table? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Daredevil's 9, 10. Then you've got Polaris and Dazzler, so you're up to about 12 different characters that you've played with at this point, and different themes and ideas. What are some other characters that you would like to do as we keep progressing? In Marvel, we're just hypothetical talking.
I've learned after doing a few that some characters work better than others. So on the one hand, there are my favorite characters, and there are the characters that will actually look really good in that style.
Okay.
And they seem to be, the traditionally designed characters where the color block is distributed equally over the entire form, and where there's maybe two colors in the costume. That seems to work the best. So imagine 90s Cyclops, blue and yellow, or Wolverine, either version of his costume. Those I can imagine working. Polaris is going to work because there are huge cuts of, where you can see the green and where it's like her skin tone or something else. That's going to work really well. It's harder to do something that's all black, for example. That would be tough. Like a Black Panther one would be difficult.
Right.
Or a Venom one would be pretty difficult because it'd be black on black, and then where's the contrast?
Right.
So Venom, great character, but I don't know if it'd be the best for this particular series.
The one that, you came on with us when we did our live show to do pre-sales for this stuff. And one of our customers, I think it was Ryan, that had talked about Juggernaut.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really have thought about the Juggernaut a lot since then. And I don't know. And if you're a fan and you follow the color bleed stuff and you want to make any comments, guys, make sure to, this would be the time to be able to ask and see what the idea is. Because, I think we've talked about Cyclops in passing. You're like, no, his new costume doesn't work. But then we talked about his 90s costume. You're like, oh, that actually does work.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
just let everybody know, all the products are up live now. So if you haven't had a chance to get something signed by David, we do have items available now on the website at unknowncomicbooks.com. You should have a link in the comments section, YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook. You can go there now and buy one of the great exclusives David's done for us, and we'll have that signed here today. There should be either a COA or a CGC option available for you. So that is all up live on the website now. Let's go buy stuff.
Thank you guys. Appreciate the support.
So,
but yeah, Juggernaut would work great because you have that 3-color thing. You know, you have the areas that you can see his arms, you know, his skin tone, and he's got that extra red in there. And then presumably the brown would be the master color behind everything. It would work great.
So would Magneto.
Yep.
So
Magneto too.
Yeah.
so Brandon is a huge X-Men fan as well. He's been following him as long as I have, and his favorite character obviously is Cyclops and Magneto. So
that's where my votes will always go. And then Nightcrawler and Cloud. I love them all. It's like a package deal, right?
They're also good.
Let's save the Strange Academy for last. So we're actually going to start the bidding. Let's start with Storm. Yeah, he's letting that drag. Go ahead and start some of the stuff that will be double signed.
If you want to throw me like 2 more, I could have 3 kind of drawing at the same time.
Gwen?
Whatever you want.
Gwenum or Gwen?
Pink or white?
Whatever you got and you want to...
Go with pink.
Okay, and then you want to do one of the Black Cats, or you want to do the Silent?
We're going to do Psylocke. Let's do the Mary Jane one.
Mary Jane?
Yeah, the Virgin Mary Jane.
Did you just say the Virgin Mary Jane? Like, think about what you just said.
Thank you.
She was once.
Oh my God. When things go too far, Darren's there to be the one that leads the way.
Brandon started.
So I should make a parody.
Yeah.
The Virgin Mary Jane.
So, yesterday you told us your favorite Marvel characters.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite DC character?
That's a good question. There was a time I would have said Green Lantern right off the top of my head.
So who ruined that for you?
No one really ruined it. It was just more that I loved it when Jeff Johns was writing it.
Oh.
You know, he had such a nice run where he established a lot of new stuff in the universe and made it really interesting. All the multicolored cores, for example, and his retelling of the origin. I liked all that stuff very much, and Blackest Night especially. So I guess when he left, I haven't read as much since. I know things have been built up as well, but for a long time it was Green Lantern. Batman's up there, obviously. Literally everyone in the world would say that, so no surprise there. I really like, not just Batman, but some of the rogues are so interesting on their own. They would be compelling choices. So your Poison Ivies and your Harley Quinns and Joker, these characters that are getting their own titles recently. My fandom is going there as well. So those would all be fun for me.
So you like the bad guys a little bit?
A little bit, but DC is a sort of untapped iceberg. Like I've done a little bit of Batman, did a Superman recently that comes out next week. Watch your stars, you guys. Future State Superman #3. But there's just so much potential to explore, and that's why it's interesting to me.
So, a side note, talking about DC, did you see the new Suicide Squad trailer that released yesterday?
Yeah.
That thing looks so
amazing,
good.
Right? Well, do you expect anything less from Mr. James Gunn? He's the
No.
best.
I know, but how is this going to work when we get into the conflicting? Marvel doesn't like to have, this is really Disney's fault because they fired him over some 10-year-old tweets.
Right.
But when DC comes calling for a sequel, and he's still in, now he's back under contract with Marvel again. I wonder how that's going to work. But man, that trailer looks so good.
It has everything I was hoping for. Like the silly moments and little jokes and character moments. That's the kind of stuff you really love from Guardians, and sure enough, he did it again in this one, and I couldn't be happier.
And of course, he's actually taken from a lot of his use in Guardians. I mean, you have Sylvester Stallone
Right.
showing up as King Shark, ripping a dude in half on the beach, which is just epic.
Michael Rooker.
You know,
Hand.
Hand. Yeah. Love it.
Raising his hand in there.
A couple of comments from YouTube. Brad Kesselberg says, David's Strange Academy 4 is my most favorite drawing of magic. Very well done.
Wow. I'm honored.
Rex Torres says, hi guys, hi David. And
Hello.
Tony Sue says, hiya, great to see you for day number 2.
Thank you for being here, guys.
I had a question come from Daniel on Facebook. How is it doing the art for the zombies on their debut?
Oh, yeah.
Flatbush Zombies on the debut album 3001 that released Odyssey.
It's fantastic. And for those who don't know, he's talking about a popular hip-hop group called the Flatbush Zombies. They, almost exactly 5 years ago, put out their debut album, and I had the honor of illustrating the cover art. And they're awesome, really cool music. Saw them live in concert when they were in San Francisco. And I feel like I should tease that we're working on something new right now, so stay tuned for that.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. Jared on Facebook just looked, as far as re-marques, he is doing a couple re-marques, but they are not something we're adding to orders. These are going to be auctioned off. So we should actually have our first re-marque being auctioned off here in about 14 minutes. So if you want a chance at these re-marques, please keep staying tuned. We will have them going to be auctioned off throughout the show. So,
by the way, guys,
stay
this is
tuned.
really hard for me not to just say no re-marques and just keep them all.
Yes, because they do look great.
So
the contrasting metallic Sharpies, I mean, it's amazing. It looks really, really cool.
So one of the hardest parts, David, for me being a store owner, an avid comic book collector,
Yeah.
is it's so hard not to sample my own drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Like I pretty much have gone to exclusively collecting original art, which we're going to get to share some amazing pieces here in a little bit,
Can't wait.
and Uncanny X-Men.
Right.
I pretty much had to give up most of everything else, just because it's a slippery slope. I remember picking up my first original art piece like years and years and years ago, and since then I've gone to pick up so many more pieces, and then I started collecting statues. And that becomes an addicting thing in itself. And
Yeah.
so, what is some of the stuff like in your world that you collect?
Well, when you were saying that, what crossed my mind made me feel like, yes, I understand your pain, is after I started working for Hasbro, one of the coolest moments you can have is, you do this art, a few months later, it shows up on an actual package, in Target. You can go to Target and there's your toy with your art on it. I absolutely couldn't believe it. It was so special to me. So of course I got to own it, right?
Right.
And at this point we've done so many, dozens of them, and I own all those toys. So now suddenly, what do I do with them? How do I display them? It's taking over my room a little bit. And I keep having this plan to create a shelving, wall to display them all really nicely. But I think, it's not like I'm trying to collect them like from a fandom situation, but still it's the same problem. What do I do with this? How do I keep up with it?
Right.
So, guys, just a little one more thing. When you're ordering, please make sure you're only ordering products from the live sale. Don't order future dated products that are not part of the live sale. That will complicate your order. You won't get everything when you're supposed to. It's going to delay your order. So please only order, if you're going to be buying through the live sale, products from the live sale. You'll know they're from the live sale because, of course, they're in that live sale collection, but they also say live sale right there at the very beginning of the title. So,
well, and the other thing about that is if you don't mind the wait, then it doesn't matter. But a lot of people that are new to buying get very frustrated with our customer service when our customer service says, nope, this isn't shipping until the order is complete.
Yeah, so we ship as a complete order. So just for your own benefit, make sure you're buying items separately if you want something else. Jared on Facebook asks, what is your favorite set of markers or colored pencils to use?
That's a good question. That's our first art question. Right now, I rely on these things called the Faber-Castell Pitt pens, Pitt, and they were recommended to me by Adam Hughes, who I consider maybe the master of original sketch art. And they work great. They are relatively waterproof. They don't bleed too badly. They last a long time, and the thin one is quite thin, so you can get that detail that you want. So yeah, for now, Pitt pens. That's where I'm at with pens. For color, I actually don't like. I don't care for colored pencils anymore. I find that they don't get the look that I want. If I'm going to color at a convention, almost certainly I'll be using a mix of Copic colors. That's sort of the standard in the industry now. They're expensive, but you definitely get a better result. They blend like miraculously well with each other. If I wasn't doing that, I might be doing acrylic washes. But when you're traveling, you have to worry about palettes and brushes and water and stuff like that. So it's a little bit harder to have at your table. So yeah, I guess the long story short is Pitt pens, Copic markers, possibly acrylic washes.
So we're going to shoot back over to Brandon and Tanner now.
Well, I'm just coming in with a comment. Like, I'm not like going away from y'all. I'm just trying to get a word in. So Joseph on YouTube says, "Hi everyone, thanks David for your awesome work. Loves the Josie and the Pussycats homage."
Thank you.
And then he asks of course the $1 million question: what is your favorite cover? You might as well go ahead and pick your favorite child too while you're at it.
Yeah, pretty much. We talked a little bit about this yesterday, but it's really impossible to choose. And I kind of made the point that it's a thing that's shared between me and the audience. I might love a cover when I finish it, but my opinion doesn't really form until I see the reaction. So sometimes fans will tell me that they loved our Avengers Mech Strike #3 cover, or the Strange Academy #6 Wanda cover. Whatever, there are a few out there that people seem to gravitate toward especially well, and I guess those because of their reaction have gone up in my own estimation and have become my favorites.
It's an interesting way of looking at it.
It's a cooperation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like but the flip side of that is sometimes, and I should say, one of the reasons I left the video game industry is you would be working on these projects for years, literally years, 2, 3, 4 years sometimes. And then you put it out and it's as strong a piece as anything else you've made. But because people view video game artwork as a company production and not like a personal thing, the fact that it has that logo on there or that it looks like a product, it would get no attention on socials at all. And that was really disheartening. So maximum time and effort for minimum return.
Mm-hmm.
I hated that. So I much prefer doing comic covers, and sometimes you get this amazing thing where you finish it one day, it posts the next day, and you get the immediate, positive reaction. That is the best feeling in the world, and beats the slave for 2 years, get no reaction thing I was experiencing with video games.
Now, do you have any, I don't know if we asked about this yesterday, any interior work you're wanting to do or anything like that here soon? Or, I mean, if you don't be sharing that, but I mean.
Well, I'm of two minds about it. I came from interior art. This stuff is old now, so I don't recommend you go out and get it. But I did Marvel Adventures Hulk for a long time. I did the series City of Heroes comic for like a year, and I did Big Hero 6 for 5 issues before I sort of stopped and started a different kind of career. So I guess what I'm saying is I started there. I like interior comics, but there are two things that stop me. One is I'm just having so much fun doing what I'm doing right now. It's very hard to turn down projects that are this cool and fun and rewarding. And the economics is the other reason. Like, the rate that you are paid for an interior page tends to be lower than a cover, and yet it is just as much work. The way it breaks down is if you're doing a monthly comic, it's essentially about a page a day. So you'll work the full day, make less than the cover, and then I don't think any individual page is going to get the same attention as the cover either. So something in the economics there has to change for it to be worth the time.
Yeah.
That all being said, there's so much love in my heart for interior comics. I can't help but think about what I would do if I was making my own creator-owned project, or if, you know, something miraculous happened, like Marvel backed up the X-Men truck and said, "Hey, jump aboard, do your thing."
Yeah.
You know, how could I turn that down exactly? So, yeah.
So in about
So-
5 minutes, we're going to be doing our first auction.
Yep.
Any
so-
question, Brandon?
Yeah, we got some. So October's asking, are we able to purchase re-marques? No, October. We are not doing re-marques for purchase. We are going to be doing some auctions, though. So we have one auction coming up here in a few minutes, and we'll have some more periodically through the night. But no direct purchases of re-marques. It will only be auctions. Artsy Designs asked David, do you work digitally? If so, what do you use?
Another great art question. So some covers are done 100% digitally, and some covers are done with a combination original and digital process. I am working on some process videos that'll be up on YouTube pretty soon that show you, I think, examples of both. I don't have footage of myself drawing, but I can show you what it takes to convert an original to a digital piece in these videos. So stay tuned to Instagram for that announcement. To answer your question about software, at this point, my muscle memory is so keyed to Photoshop that it's impossible for me to feel comfortable in any other program. I can look at the screen, and have my left hand sort of working independently, hitting hotkeys, and it's just all this. It flows perfectly. It's just like built into the way I work now. That can't happen with other programs. So I guess what I'm saying, Photoshop is just a part of me at this point, and it works perfectly for me. Now, the young kids keep telling me that Procreate is so cool, and I've tried it, and I have that problem where nothing is where I expect it to be. It doesn't do X, Y, and Z that Photoshop does.
It's getting there, but it hasn't got there yet.
That's what I hear. I hear it's getting closer all the time. But for me, what I do is I have a PC workstation on a mobile device on a Surface, and it runs honest to God Photoshop on it. So when I travel, I take real Photoshop and a portable keyboard, and that's how I get around that problem when I travel.
All right, David from YouTube, what is the most difficult cover you have ever drawn?
Two spring to mind. If you guys recall the House of X, Powers of X #5 connecting covers that feature a good dozen X-Men in the Savage Land, that was a feat. That was probably 1 to 1.5 weeks worth of effort, because it's got every single character in it. They all have brand new costumes that I invented for that cover. It has dinosaurs in it. It has a prehistoric background in it. And it was made as a series of originals that I adapted digitally. So all the volcanic special effects and moody mist and stuff that came in the digital phase. That was quite a production. The other one that springs to mind is I just yesterday turned in a Spider-Man project for Marvel. It has 33 headshots on it. It was a long haul, but it was so fun, trying out all the different characters. I can't tell you what it is or who's on it, but wait till you see it. I mean, you can get lost in the detail, I think. And I didn't skimp on any details. Every single head got my full effort. I think it's going to be something pretty special to look for.
Okay, Brandon,
Yeah,
we're
let's
going
go
to
and break the auction.
All right, guys, I will take it from here. All right, everybody. Make sure y'all can hear me. We'll keep an eye on David real quick. Oh, let me go back to this. Okay, so we do have one of those re-marque options coming up right now. So let me go ahead and give y'all a little preview of what we got here. So we have this first re-marque up for auction. It is the I can't remember what
X-Men 8.
X-Men 8.
18.
18, sorry. The Storm DNA cover. And of course, he's got that brilliant, it's kind of hard to tell on the camera right there because it's on a white cover, but that is pretty much silver Sharpie base with the inked over Storm remark on it. Quite awesome. Chris is kind of repositioning it so we can see it. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. So awesome remark. Like I think this is probably one of my favorite remarks I've ever seen on any of the remarks we've done. So definitely want to pick this up. So let's go ahead and we will get started on this auction here. We're going to start the bid. Oh, real quick before I start.
Some rules out there.
We got to get some rules out there. So this auction is Facebook only. So if you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, you'll need to jump over to Facebook really quick because we do take the bids in the comments. We take them in the order that we see them, and we do some things to account for the latency. But if we see bids come in after we've verbally called it, unfortunately that's it. So we'll. Is that it? Did I say everything?
Did you go over the
the live timer? That's where I was going. So we'll have a 2-minute main timer. Once that's done, we'll move to a 30-second lag timer. Any bid that comes in during that 30 seconds resets that clock. Once I have a 30-second timer go with no bids, then that is the winner of the auction. So we're going to go ahead and start the bidding.
Bidding.
Oy.
English.
We're going to start the bidding at $100, and that starts now. Epic music has come in, so you know it's for
So
real.
these auctions are your only chance to get remarks during tonight.
Yes, yeah, we are not direct selling the remarks. This is the only way.
David, 100. Oh, Mike, no. Current bid is David, 100. Shayla, 150.
Right. Sheila was the first one at 150 that we saw. And Darren wants to let you know if any auction hits 500 or more, Ryan,
200.
any one lot hits 500 or more, we will pay for the grading on it. So,
John, 250.
I thought that said John Candy. I was like, he's alive. Still missed. John is the high bidder at 250. We're just under a minute left on the main timer before we go to the 30-second lag timer. Agreed, Mike. It is a very great cover and remark. All the remarks on this that he's done.
Shayla, 275.
Okay. We are just over 30 seconds left in the main timer.
John, 300.
Rex, I don't know what all remarks we absolutely have. I know what I've seen. We've seen a Psylocke and a Scarlet Witch. Those are coming. We might have some more. I don't know. 15 seconds left in the main timer. John is the high bidder at 300. 10 seconds left on the main timer. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Shayla, 325.
Okay, that came in right as I hit the timer, so no point in resetting it. So any bids?
John, 350.
Okay, resetting. 20 seconds on the lag timer. Yeah, the lag is 10 seconds left. Twitch is lower latency, but
Shayla, 370.
okay, resetting. Twitch is lower latency. It's only a couple of seconds behind. So if you have the means,
John, 400.
John, resetting. You can have Twitch video open, but Facebook chat open. That's kind of the sweet spot, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think that's the way to do it. Watch Twitch, chat on Facebook. If you're doing the auction thing. 10 seconds left on the lag timer. John is the high bidder at 400. Going once, going twice. Sold to John.
All right,
Congratulations, John.
John. Be sure you have an account with the Unknown Comics website, so that way we can send you an invoice. Also, let me know in the chat if you'd like to add grading to that for a small fee.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, well, we will go ahead and we'll kick it back over to Other Realms in Honolulu and get back to chatting with, oh, actually, David has taken a break, but somebody's there to talk to y'all. All right, back to you guys. All right, we'll come back here. So it looks like they're doing work in the room where David is. So we'll just chill out.
Taking a little break.
Yeah. So let's see if we got any questions or anything. Actually, we can go over the giveaways again.
Yeah.
Why don't we do that? All right. So let's go ahead and show off. So we've got the 2 giveaway contests. We have the Facebook share contest and the YouTube subscribe/support contest. So we have 7 books per giveaway. We have our Miko Sawaiian Carnage Black, White, and Blood, the reflection cover. We have...
I think this one.
Oh, their mics are still on. Hold on.
I think this one will fetch probably 5.
There we go. We'll just turn that off since Darren's talking shop on camera. All right, let's see here. We have the Miko's Alien #1. You like the way I just passive-aggressively called out Darren? Like I do. He'll passive-aggressively fire me one day. It'll be even. I have the Mastrazo Alien #1 covers. And then the Jimbo Salgado Red Sonja 15. So all 7 books available in our 2 giveaways that we'll do at the end of the show, right around 9 o'clock or so.
I think they're ready now.
They are ready. All right. Let's get back to see y'all full. There's David again, and now they can hear y'all. There we go.
We're back.
We're back?
We're back.
We're back.
You're back.
So, David, just to let you know, your Storm remark just went for $400.
Thank you, guys.
And who was the winner?
It was John Carty.
John Carty.
John Carty, thank you so much. We were just talking earlier on Instagram. Appreciate you coming back today, and thank you for getting this. It's my first remark in feels like a year, so
Yeah.
Need to come back for it.
And see, we advertised as only having 3 remarks, and it looks like now we're going to have 6 by the end of the show. So
The last hour may be
just Remark City and signing.
we have to be out of here by 5.
We have to be out by 5. We can't go
We can
over,
go
and we still
over.
have to get books signed. So.
Yeah. We may be auctioning quite a bit in the last few minutes.
And the special auction is, well, you're getting auctioned, Sabrina. Bye.
No thanks.
We used to have an employee that worked for us named Justin. I'm pretty sure at least 5 different other stores have ownership of him in some way due to being given away.
All right, so let's see if we have any new questions coming up.
So I have a question, and this is more about maybe a pride thing with artists.
Okay.
So if you come up with this idea, which you just think is going to be the absolute most badass idea,
Yeah.
and you turn that into the publishers, and they reject that idea, is that a pretty big hit to your pride, or how do you handle the rejection in the publishing world when you know that if you're able to do this, that like it will be a home run, and then they say nope?
It's a great question, and I think it's this psychological game that every single artist has to go through. I remember, especially early in my career, that kind of thing would happen. Like I would do an idea, and it would get rejected, and I would be somewhat devastated, but I'd keep it to myself. And then other times I'd create a bunch of sketches, and the one that I did not want to do would get chosen, and I was equally crushed. So a few things have happened over the years as I've matured and learned how to deal with this. One is that when I submit sketches now, I make sure every single one of them is exciting to me.
Okay.
So I cannot lose. It doesn't matter to me which one they choose because I like every single one. Sometimes I'll make a sketch and I'll realize, oh, you know what, this one isn't going to be that good, and then I'll just automatically cancel it. I won't even share it because it doesn't help anybody for me to draw something that is going to be subpar or that I'm going to hate working on it. So that's how I solve that. How I solve the disappointment thing, I think it's just after you've done it a while, you kind of learn to roll with the punches. It's not that big a deal in the long run. If you're 50 to 100 to 200 covers in, if one of them gets rejected or compromised in some way, it's no big deal. There's going to be another one.
Right.
But I think it's because, when you're first starting out and it's like, this is your big chance or whatever, when that goes wrong, that's what hurts. So time heals that, I guess.
And so my second follow-up question to that particular question, so we know writers get writer's block.
Mm.
How do you deal with it when, like, the ideas just are not flowing for art? Like, how do you work your way through, like, you just can't think of anything?
I have been fortunate that never happens to me. The way I get around it is kind of related to what we were talking about before. It's about finding something that you love,
Mm-hmm.
And whatever I'm drawing, there's usually something I can get my head around. It might be that it's a character I like. It might be that the idea is really fun. It might be that it's just it's a beautiful lady that I get to draw, and that can never be bad, right? That's never going to suck. So I try not to take on projects where there's none of that, where there's nothing to get excited about. Like a project I don't like, for a character that I don't like, and no chance of making an interesting composition, I'll just turn that down. And that is, I think, in the end, better for everyone, because you're going to get nothing but stuff that I'm 100% invested in, that I can get behind, that is done to my best ability. I never want to compromise that.
Right. I'm going to go ahead and sneak these in here. These are actually more locals that are here.
Oh, gosh.
So
These guys are great.
And we're gonna up our auction schedule to every 20 minutes, just because we have a few more now. So in about 8 minutes, we'll have another auction. So guys, stay tuned for that.
last two for right now. And
Okay.
give it a drawing.
Great, thank you.
Thank you guys so much again for tuning in on all of the platforms, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Make sure you're getting in on those share contests. Share the feed, and then make sure you guys are commenting on the proper channel so you can get entered into the contest.
So I'm going to share I'm going to sneak this image in front of David for just a second. Can you see it?
I can't tell, but most likely.
Yeah, there's that 40-second lag time.
Yep.
So we're going to talk about X-Men 11, your first cover for us.
All right.
So when this first got shown by you,
chose you to do for us.
Mm-hmm.
We had another one before that.
Well, that's true. The first one we chose. This is where we're going. So when we did this secret cover thing where you got to do basically two different covers with Emma kissing Cyclops and
Yep.
Jean kind of panicking, and then Wolverine kissing Jean. And I remember you actually sharing with me links to where like that actually became kind of a social media buzz about the love triangle between all of these. And
Yeah.
Also, it happened to hit in the comics at the exact same time that there actually was a weird love triangle.
weird love
That's
triangle
right, yeah.
going on.
So,
Yeah, they did do that in X-Force that same week.
So when stuff like that happens, what is that like for you as the artist when you're just doing the art and then it just kind of blows up as a rumor mill kind of thing? Like, what if? Like, do you just kind of let the rumor flow, or do you be like, I was just doing a cover?
feed into it.
Well, in that particular case, that love triangle has existed forever.
Correct.
It's not like a new thing, but I think what is new is putting it big and bold on a cover. It's not every day that you see a big kiss on the front of a cover. Those always are attention grabbers. And we've seen this before with Gambit and Rogue, maybe the marriage cover for X-Men 26 or 24, I can't remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, X-Men 24, the Kubert cover.
Thank you. Yes. But it's just not that common, and yet it's like a big factor of the fandom and people really care about it and they have their opinions. And so when you put a cover like this out there, or the two in this case, people are going to have their opinions for sure. And we saw that, and it was really fun to watch people talk back and forth about which they prefer or other pairings that they would enjoy. I just think that's great. It just shows how invested people are in the characters.
You may
Not quite done yet.
He's not done yet.
Oh, okay. Thought you-
Yeah, I guess it wouldn't be a love triangle as much as a love square. Since there's-
Yeah, I think it's a square.
Maybe a
That
love
particular
square?
group. Yeah.
So, and then of course you always have. I always notice on Twitter every time you share this particular cover,
Yeah.
why there's not a version of Cyclops kissing Wolverine.
Somebody always asks.
Every time.
Well-
Every
That's
time
wrong.
you share it.
So the way this makes sense to me in from a Marvel perspective is back when I worked on Avengers Academy, we wanted to have a dating feature in the game, and we wanted to allow players to choose any pairing that they want, and Marvel wanted to make sure that all the pairings were consistent with the canon in the comics, which I think is a reasonable request. So we did that. We made sure that the pairings you could make were consistent. And since this is an official Marvel product, I feel like the same rules apply. I'm sure
Mhm.
that's what they're thinking internally. So I'm not going to go off canon and make something like that didn't happen in the comics. I don't, I'm equal opportunity for everyone. So if something happens in the comic, I'm okay to draw that. But in the meantime, I'm going to stick to canon.
Well, and we would never, as Unknown Comics, we're not quite there for going that direction with cover art to begin with.
Well,
like,
to be honest, there has been some stuff like that, but I think we've even asked about covers with DC, and they said no to that.
yeah, I mean, there were some times, but for us, Unknown Comics has always kind of tinkered with that line of like we've done one cover set that had nudity on the cover, and it was because it was a shared project with the artist himself, and he kind of wanted to go that direction. But outside of that, we've always stayed to not too far. We've always tried to keep a line to where we go, especially with cover art because of small children.
Yep.
So
And I feel the same way too. I've made a conscious choice in my career not to do not safe for work art. In my head, my limit is PG-13.
Mhm.
And I've had many offers over the years to do nude this or that, and it's just my personal choice not to go there.
There's a meme. I can't remember the meme, but it's an artist saying no to a request about what is it? It's just a weird random request, and the
Oh.
artist says no.
That's at a
And
show.
and the guy, yeah, it's at a show, and the guy's like, "I'll give you $1,000," and he's like, "How X-rated do you want this?" So,
Yeah, no one's tested me that way so far.
so
Should be going to our second auction here in just a couple of minutes. So here in just a second, we'll get to that.
and Brandon, if there's a way when we go to the auction, if we could just for a few minutes leave us live for a little bit, so we can kind of talk about the importance of how cool this book is we're about to auction.
No.
He said, no.
I hate you.
You just want more airtime. That's all you want.
I'm a hog.
And yes, we will let you. We will let you talk.
Thanks,
We'll
Brandon. I love you.
balloon your ego
So if
just a
you
little
guys
bit
aren't
more.
familiar, the guys that are tuning in, everybody's watching on Twitch and YouTube and Facebook. We're actually doing all of this from Hawaii and in Amarillo. We're doing this from two different locations. Tanner and Brandon, unfortunately, didn't get to make this particular trip. But when we do our big event, I think we're going to bring at least one of them with us. But they're back home running all this stuff. Everything's running through Amarillo, Texas, and we're just feeding them the information. So there's a lot that goes into these productions to be able to do this. I think we've done this a couple times now. We did it with Mark Brooks, and so I just want y'all to know that these signings, it takes a team to be able to pull these signings off, and I appreciate my team that's willing to do this. I mean, poor Amy's been all over the country. since December. I mean, she was trapped in a Jeep for 20 hours with someone with COVID back in December and somehow never got it.
I'm immune.
Wow.
She has. So when COVID, like her whole family got COVID in like November.
Yeah.
She didn't get it.
Okay.
She got trapped in a Jeep with me during one of the signings.
Yeah.
And I had it pretty much the entire trip. She didn't get it. A third of our staff caught it when we got back, or already had started catching it. She didn't get it. So I think that she is the cure.
Yeah.
So, because somehow she keeps avoiding.
She's who Will Smith is looking.
Yes.
I wouldn't say that publicly, Darren, because the World Health Organization is going to kidnap her and do testing on her now.
Yeah.
Hi, Amy.
You just lost your presser and your witness.
It's like I'm from Hawaii.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and put the book on screen here. Hold on. It's going to take me just a second. We're going to switch from David.
So the cover that we're fixing to auction off, we
No,
actually,
not
if they
that.
would have released the image before, and it was a ratio, so they would have eventually said no anyways.
Okay.
But we actually tried to snag the virgin version of this. And it was after FOC, so we didn't get a chance.
And plus
So
the fact that it's a 1 in 25.
yeah, sometimes they'll bend, but I didn't think they would bend on that one. But it's such an awesome cover. I'm not sure if we're quite there on the screen change yet.
Y'all can see it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're seeing
So
just the cover
what
now.
we did special for this particular cover is when David had declared this is the first time he's ever signed this book. We had him write first on this book, so this is actually marked as the first ever time he signed this book. So it's kind of a loose remark in a way of what we're doing with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to auction this off, and it'll be your chance to own kind of a cool piece of history, and it's actually being marked the first time he's ever signed this book. So when you bid on this, just know that that's the way it can go. I think when you submit it to CGC, it'll actually have written on there something about that. Maybe, I don't know, I'll have to check, but it will actually show as a remark, basically.
We have to talk to CDC about that.
Yeah, but when artists mark stuff and it's witnessed, it'll actually be marked as a form of a remark. So,
Nice.
so there you go. This
All
is a
right.
big deal, like with Valiant fans.
The first signed.
Is that Brandon saying okay?
And Brandon's saying stop talking. I got it, Brandon.
All right. Well, we'll take it from here. Let's go ahead and get this auction started. All right, guys. So we've got this first signed pseudo remark. It's not really a true remark in that regard, just like Darren was saying. So the first signed copy of Symbiote Spider-Man, signed by David Nakayama. We're gonna let's go over the rules again. So of course this is a Facebook chat auction. So we'll be taking all of our bids in the Facebook chat. We'll take them in the order that we see them. If you do want a kind of a lower lag video feed, then you need to head over to Twitch. It's actually the lowest. It's only a couple of seconds behind. Have Twitch video open, but Facebook chat, because Facebook's where the people are, so that's where we have to do the bids. So, so that's kind of my pro tip for y'all.
Yeah.
So we'll do a 2-minute timer, and then after that 2-minute timer is over, we'll start doing a 30-second lag timer. Any bid that comes in during that 30-second window resets that timer. It just gives somebody else another chance to outbid and keep going. Once that 30 seconds passes and no new bids come in, that is the winner of the auction. So we'll go ahead and get started on this one. Opening bid, starting bid for this particular piece is $80, and we're going to start the bidding right now. Looking for $80 to start this one off, guys. Epic music is not so epic. It's like drum beats. I was hoping for more.
It'll get better.
It'll get better. It'll build. Looking for $80. Brandon
Brandon.
Bork. And please keep your bid increments to like at least $5. Don't be annoying. First ever signed Symbiote Spider-Man, Lawrence 120. Awesome. Just over a minute left on the main timer for this one. unfortunately, I can't set Facebook settings yes, David did do that cover, Jared. Or else, if he signed it, it would be vandalism. So, like, according to CGC vandalism. That's not like, I'm not being tongue-in-cheek. That's what they would consider it. All right, 30 seconds left in the main timer. Lawrence is the high bidder at 120 for the first ever Science Symbiont Spider-Man. 15 seconds to go.
Brandon, 125.
Going to the live timer in 3, 2, 1. Okay, current high bid is 125. Any bid during this timer resets it. Claire, yeah, the high bid was already 125, Claire. By the time you see that.
Jared, 130.
Resetting.
Brandon, 135.
Reset. Turn the epic music down. No, not up, down. There we go. That way they can hear us better. We don't.
Almost out.
And gone.
Okay, Brandon Burke, 135.
Awesome. Good job, Brandon. All right, so let me tell them who the weenie was.
Brandon, if you'd let me know if you'd like to add
Same
CGC to
time.
this. Also, please make sure you have an account on our website.
Was it 135? Oh, autocorrect. You suck. I can't type. There we go. All right. Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and kick it back over to the Honolulu crew. Kind of rhymes. I'll take it. David is still feverishly remarking. That is not the right camera, Brandon. Oh, you turd. As he says to himself on many occasions. Hold on. There's the DNA cam. That's what we'll call it. All right, and y'all are live again.
Hey! Hey!
Hey.
Brandon Burke, thank you so much. We just saw that you won the auction at $135, so we appreciate you.
Okay, I'll add that in there.
So, and if you remember, guys, we're going to go over a few things real quick. I don't think we've covered the share contest again, so we may break back to them for just long enough to go over the share contest one more time. But we do want to go over, remember, guys, if you choose to place an order and your order has future dated products on it, that will hold your entire order until the order is complete. So be aware of this. I mean, there's nothing really wrong with this process, but I mean, if you order something that's got a June street date, it's going to hold your cool book up until June. So I know some people don't like to pay extra shipping. We don't either, and we won't ship it until your whole order is ready. So just know that as you do this, okay? It's your choice. You're completely your choice, but we're going to give you that warning one more time. Hey guys, have we shared the share contest since the beginning?
Yeah, we've talked about it
again.
You need to listen to your own broadcast there, bud.
Yeah, and I talked about it right before we did the auction too.
Okay, well that's
Golly.
fine. I'm sorry, my brain is in 100 different places.
We'll do another auction here in about 10 minutes.
Another auction in 10 minutes, and then we'll talk about the share contest once more.
Really? Is that what we're going to do?
No,
Ay, ay,
Brandon.
ay.
God, I hate that kid. So me and Brandon and Tanner, so I used to own a store back from 2011 to 2014. And so Brandon and Tanner actually were both basically employees for me then as well.
Oh,
Tanner was just a wee child out of college coming off of working at Hot Topic.
Straight up employee.
He's still a wee.
He's still wee.
Darren, I have the tax paperwork to prove I was a straight up employee.
You were a straight up employee. Brandon, on the other hand, was not.
No,
He was at work for trade.
Yeah, I was totally under the
He put
table.
all my video slideshow stuff together for the TVs.
Oh.
So that's why we harass each other so much. We go back almost a decade.
Pretty close.
So, but yeah.
I figured, yes.
So, not to mention, that's just kind of how our staff talks. We speak in sarcasm, so people who don't speak in sarcasm typically
Sarcasm is our love
don't
language.
like working
They
for
don't
us.
come around anymore.
Yeah.
Now, here's another hard question for you, David.
right.
What other types of media or medium do you want to start? Do you want to get better at, or do you want to start learning?
Good question. I wish in the hand-drawn original side that I could do more with the painted part of it. Perhaps that might be fun to explore. I end up doing most of my painting digitally. It's quicker for one thing, but it may be fun to experiment with it traditionally. I went to art school. I painted. It's been a while, but there's a part of me that would like to do that.
Yeah. So when you see like artists like of course like Lucio Prillo or you have Gabriel Delato that does a lot of the heavy traditional painting and stuff like that. So are you talking more like that specific style of painting, or
Not really. Lots of respect to those guys for sure, but I'm thinking more like the way that Mark Brooks or Adi Granov put things together. That style is more appealing to me. It's closer to the look that I try to achieve in Photoshop anyway.
Yeah.
And I actually don't know how they do it. Like how they layer things up to be just the right level of black that they want, how they control the whites. All that stuff's interesting to me.
yeah. And talking to Mark, he's learned a lot of that stuff from Adi. So it'd be really interesting to pick his brain on that.
Yeah.
And to see Mark's stuff from the early 2000s to now, it's not even. I mean, the line art's there, but with the colors, his progression of his stuff is leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
Crazy improvements over the years, and I feel like he's even taken another level of steps in the last 2 or 3 years. So it's really cool to see the progression of artists and how they mature in their stuff. I mean, I went back and there was an old Gen 13 book that Adam Hughes did.
Yeah.
One of his early Gen 13 stuff, early comic book art in the 90s, and you wouldn't know it was Adam Hughes at all. It is.
Which one are we talking about? Like Rose? Because
Maybe
that one I think is still a gem.
maybe that book. I just know that it was a Gen 13 book, and I didn't even know it was Adam Hughes until someone asked me to have a copy signed for them.
Okay.
I was like, I didn't realize that was his art. So
Yeah, if you're a hardcore Adam Hughes collector like I am, it's it's not every day that a new Adam Hughes book comes out, so each one is very special. He did that 2-issue Gen 13 series where he wrote and drew it. I think that might be a unique situation where he wrote and drew something like that.
Yeah, I think he did that with. Did he do a Hellboy book?
He
did the entire
drew it.
arc.
Yeah, there were a couple of Hellboy issues that came out. Krampus Knocked
Yeah,
and
recently, like the last couple of years.
last couple, like just a few months actually for the last one. I can't remember what the newest one is called, but it's a ghost story. The other one's kind of like Krampus.
Krampus.
Yeah. Anyway, amazing. Love them. There's a guy outside the door who looks like he may want your attention.
That's right, Brandon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you do it then. It's your... okay, so interesting question. Is there a character you would not want to draw?
Huh. Not want to draw. Interesting. I think we've sort of talked about it on the other side before. Like my interest in stuff goes back to my personal fandom. I'm a pretty hardcore comic book guy, and I grew up reading everything that was on the shelf in the 90s. So it would be all of Marvel, all of DC, Valiant Comics, Image, of course, every single book, like clockwork. So I have a lot of fondness for Pitt. Where's my new Pitt book? Keon, bring that out. Also, like I love games. Obviously, I worked in games for many years. Anytime I get a chance to work on a game project, whether it's directly for a game company or an interpretation in comics, I'll take that. So that doesn't leave a lot for me that I don't like. Um, I guess if it's like a very obscure character who is not that cool, maybe not. Um, or if it's I get offers sort of frequently to do this lesser known or that lesser known book. If I don't have like a personal fan interest in it, that might be the reason why I don't take something.
Yeah, yeah, I understand that. All right, so we got about 5 minutes to our next auction. We're going to be doing a very bluish, purplish cover. Over your eyes, taking that color. Do you own any Adam Hughes pieces?
No, in fact, I own no original art at all.
Oh,
Not even one piece by anybody.
wow.
And that's not like a conscious, decision. Like back when I was more of a fan and going to comic shows, I put my name in the lottery to try to get an Adam Hughes sketch once or twice. And I guess what happened is my favorite guys became way too expensive for me to afford a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
So J. Scott Campbell and Adam Hughes, I couldn't afford it. And that's kind of the only stuff I would choose to collect, really. Work by people I really admire. And, I guess I have good taste. All those guys have become even bigger since. So it's out of range.
Speaking of Campbell original art,
Yeah.
you got to be a piece of the
Oh
Campbell
my
original
gosh.
art here lately that got auctioned for a great cause and actually went for a pretty good amount of money, which is great.
Yeah, that was an amazing experience. So
Yeah.
we can talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
So imagine what it would be like, to worship at the altar of J. Scott Campbell the way I do.
Yeah.
This is the guy I've had his art on my wall all through college. I loved his work from the moment I saw his first pinup. Like it was an advertisement in a Wildstorm comic in the early days of Image, and I knew right away I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's only gotten better since, like 100 times better.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, like I just wanted to be him for a long time. I was like, this guy's figured it out. Like his style is so interesting, and he knows how to do stuff that's unique. I was always trying to seek out a style that could be very unique. And for a while, when you're young, you chase after a specific artist. Like, oh, okay, I want to be like J. Scott Campbell, so I'll try to draw like J. Scott Campbell. And you figure out, no, there's only one J. Scott Campbell. So how do you do you? And what is your style is a mix of all your favorite things. And so there's no question that some of the DNA I'm working with is Campbell, because I've studied it so much. But it's not the only thing in there. And once I realized that was a good thing, it started working for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, so I'm painting that picture.
Mm-hmm.
Because when Hero Initiative comes along and they're like, hey, do you want to do a team-up piece with J. Scott Campbell?
Yeah.
I mean, my jaw just hits the floor.
Yeah.
I've never said yes quicker. He's just such a hero to me. So, I mean, what an amazing opportunity. And then the actual art shows up one day with FedEx.
Mm-hmm.
And I carefully open the box and I reverently pull out the artwork and I'm studying it, and it just looks even more gorgeous in person. And
his half was done before you got it.
Right, he had already finished his half, and I was just going to add to it. And so I have all these mixed feelings, like, oh my god, like what if I ruin it? Like what if I make a big mistake?
Yeah, that'd be nerve-wracking.
What if I spill an ink bottle over his side? Like I have all these feelings, and I'm gratified that it all worked out, and I'm super stoked about the huge amount of money that we raised for charity there.
Yes.
Just a great opportunity. And by the way, I'll mention, he doesn't make mistakes. Like I looked, and there's no whiteout or anything. He's just freaking great.
Yeah. You're like, well, I can't make a mistake on here.
Yeah.
All right, so we got just a couple more minutes, one more minute until the next auction. So we'll be going to here in just a second. Back to the guys over in Amarillo. So you guys be ready for that. Let's see. All right. Kind of just, if you want to go ahead and hop on, Brandon, you can. I don't think we have enough time to really ask another question right now. So.
Okie dokie. I'll be here. Oh, I just turned my pack on. I forget it takes a second to get on. Yeah, so let me go ahead and pull up what we will be auctioning here. Let's go ahead and fade that in. So they are now looking at this beautiful Hellions 10 numbers.
Good thing Dan is there.
Oh my gosh, I can't keep numbers straight. I know, at least I knew the title.
That's true.
Thank you very much.
We're going to have them start remarking trades so we know what's going on.
Right? No, don't do that. Virgins are awesome. Oh, don't clip that. Okay, why don't you talk about the book, Chris? I just need to take a break.
Yeah, you're fine. So Hellions 10, this is one of our, this was our first X-Men color blue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, of course, we've been doing Psylocke on as many issues as possible with the Hellions run. And we thought this was a great time. This is the only one that we don't have two versions on for our color bleed so far. But it was a great piece. We hope to have some more X-Men in the future as part of our color bleed series, but this is the first one of that. So love the re-marque of Psylocke here in the bottom corner. Yeah, you guys take it away. So.
All right. We will go ahead and take it from you guys. All right, so Hellions 10, Virgin cover, re-marque, the super silver Sharpie re-marque. Of course, Facebook chat is where the bids will come in.
2-minute timer?
2-minute timer, then 30-second lag after that. My explanation of the rules gets shorter the more auctions we do. So we will go ahead and start the bidding on this re-marque at $100, and we will start that right now. Pulling the music down. I need to change that. Oh, there we go.
David, 200.
All right. David kicking it off at 200. Of course, after this 2-minute timer is complete, we'll go to the 30-second lag timer, and each bid during that 30-second lag timer will reset the clock. Reset the clock. That was my Idris Elba. I'm not going to do that anymore. David is the high bidder, 200 for the Psylocke re-marque. Again, if y'all want a lower latency version of the video, we recommend watching on Twitch. But
250 Joshua.
Okay, good job, Joshua. 1 minute left on the main timer. Watching on Twitch, bidding on Facebook. That is the magic
Insider's tip right there.
Insider's tip. If you just want a lower latency, I mean, it's still bidding in the chat. I mean, it's still a thing, but are y'all going to sell the Strange Academy Magic cover? Well, we did for signing. I don't know what our stock is still on it.
Yeah,
as far as re-marques, I don't know. I only know of one other re-marque that's done so far that I've seen. I don't know what else has been re-marked yet. So we'll know shortly. They just kind of put them up on screen for me to sell. So Josh is still the high bidder.
David, 275.
Oh, David, 275. We are under 15 seconds away from going to the lag timer. Tanner, are you seeing all these minis in the background?
I know, this store is pretty cool.
Tanner's jelly. Okay, going to the lag timer.
Apparently they do a yearly painting competition just for the store. Josh,
300 resetting. So no, John, I do not know what the other re-marques are. They do. We do not. I don't know until they put it up on screen and show me. So.
David, 315.
Okay, resetting.
Joshua, 325. Reset that.
Okay. Yes.
David, 330.
Resetting. They have got to stop messaging Tanner because they're covering up his auction chat. Not allowed to communicate with us during auctions, guys. New rule. 10 seconds left on the lag timer. David has it at 3:30 right now.
Joshua, 340.
Okay. And if a bid does go 500 or higher, we will grade it. We will include grading.
David, 350.
Resetting. Fifteen seconds on the lag.
Joshua, 360.
Resetting. Move this closer to me. Just make my life a little easier. 15 seconds on the timer. Going once, going twice, sold.
Joshua Foster for 360.
Joshua Foster, 360. Let me look.
Joshua, let me know if you'd like to add grading. And please make sure you have an account on our Unknown Comics website so we can send you an invoice.
All right, well, we're going to take another moment just to go over our giveaways for this evening. Of course, we have two separate contests going. We have our Facebook share contest, so share our Facebook feed right now and comment shared. And then also on YouTube, if you subscribe there, or if you've already subscribed, just share it, like, click bells, whatever you can do to support the YouTube and comment there, and you'll get it into one of two contests to win this week's exclusives. The first that I have, let me put this back up here, is our Red Sonja 15 Jimbo Salgado exclusive. I have the Mastrazo Alien #1 trade-in version. We have the Miko Sawayan Alien #1 trade-in version. And then Miko's Carnage Black, White, and Blood Reflection cover, part of the Reflection series. Sounds very introspective, our Reflection
Jared
series.
asks if he wins the contest, could he have one of the books CGC'd? The winner would just have to contact customer service, and we would see what we could work out there.
All right, well, let's go ahead and head back over to the Hawaiian crew, and we will talk to y'all here in a bit. Y'all are live.
Hey, Brandon, can you keep the camera on the re-marque area?
On the re-marque area.
We're going to show the 3 new re-marques that are going to be offered in the last hour.
All right, that camera shot is live.
Okay, so here's the first one. This is on window #1. So this will be one of the new re-marques that will be offered during the last hour of the show, which we're in. So just know the next one I'm being very careful with.
Very fresh.
Very, very fresh. Fresh off the presses. Hot off the presses, whatever. So you have a beautiful Mary Jane. And then the last one is...
Hey, Darren. That Mary Jane, is that a trade cover? What is that?
That's a virgin cover as well.
Would you call it? Would you call it a Virgin Mary Jane?
It is a Virgin Mary Jane. A virgin. And the last one is probably my second favorite re-marque, and it is Magic. So these are the only 6 re-marques that we offer, and who knows when David will offer the next set of re-marques. But I appreciate him doing these, and thank you guys for obviously supporting these re-marques with some solid bidding. So
we'll probably be doing the next one.
About just over 10 minutes is what I've got.
Yeah, well, we may have to go a little quicker. We have 4 left.
Okay.
So,
We'll do-
let's go
we'll-
about 5 minutes.
5 minutes from now?
Mhm. Orders come in.
They're all,
Refreshing.
okay, 825.
And that'll be
We should
that
have
one
the
you see
boxes.
right now. That'll be
The
one we're
Scarlet
gonna
Witch. Awesome. So we do have a comment on Twitch. TrackRex says, I wish Marvel would bring back the OG Alpha Flight team and then have David do a team
Right over
cover
the
for
main
Unknown.
figure.
That would be awesome.
So these are done.
And then we're gonna start on those.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, they're back. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. We were discussing how we're doing signatures because
Gotcha.
today is the day that we are also working through some customer books.
Everything was pre-sold. before
Everything
we
was
came.
pre-sold, and then of course right now he just got done signing all the stuff that was actually signed by Jonathan Hickman last week. So we'll actually have some double signed options for the website here very soon. So,
That's pretty cool.
CGC first, right?
huh?
A lot of it's going to CGC.
Yeah, it's going to go to CGC first, and then it will come back
So it's not gonna
and be offered.
It's gonna be in a few months.
Sometimes these windows make no sense. Like right over the faces? No,
We can always take it out of the bag if you want.
it's not that big a deal. It's
Oh, look at that. Perfect.
It makes me laugh.
The entire staff made all these window bags in an hour.
In an hour. 1,000 window bags in an hour.
Oh,
So we just made top, bottom,
oh,
top, bottom.
okay,
So
understood. I thought the placement was coming from the particular purchaser.
Well, these are all the ones that you said you didn't want to sign over Hickman's signature. So we just flipped the book over.
Uh-huh.
So that's why they're like that.
Got it.
So we did think about the placement, and then we're like, all right.
Middle window bags.
I found a decent place to
there
put
are a
it.
few leftover middle window bags.
There we go. Yeah.
So
And it's been a whole kind of running joke back at the store on, right as you put that window bag in the middle of all these female covers. Like, it's been a whole joke.
I had made several people redo when they put them in the bag. They gotta flip that over.
By several people, I'm one of those.
So it's at random. I didn't realize that, but because it's funny sometimes where it lines up. Sometimes it's like right over. It's small and it's over the main figure, or it's like it's high and it's on somebody's face.
Yeah.
So, a question to talk about. I don't know if we've talked about. Did we talk about the charity auction yesterday?
Yeah, we
just
talked about
when you were
that
talking to
once.
Brandon, we did.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you were gone.
Yeah, I was
Just missed it. Was it great? A few minutes of conversation. I'm sad you missed it.
I'm sorry. I missed it too.
You can totally go back and check it out in the archives on YouTube.
Fine, I will. I'll go listen to it.
We got about 3 more minutes left until we're going to do our next auction, guys. So just be prepared for that. And a couple more locals. One more. Okay. What was the name on that?
Russell.
Russell. All right, let's start with this sack.
Cool.
It's gonna go in that empty box over there.
Yeah.
All right, so a couple comments from YouTube. Demarius Gray wishes David could do a deadly class.
I'm sure you're fulfilled. Local.
Isn't that book over though?
It's not going to
Yeah,
CGC.
I wondered if it was still going or not.
What's
The show is over.
If they're COA.
I haven't seen a new Deadly Class comic in forever.
I don't think there's been anything new.
I feel like I might have seen it in the latest previews.
I think there was something solicited before COVID, and maybe it's just now coming back. Maybe that's what it is.
And then
Some of the publishers are still bringing stuff back slowly.
And then TrackRex on Twitch is saying, I wish Marvel would bring back the OG Alpha Flight team and then have David do a team cover for Unknown. That would be awesome.
Oh, thank you. Have you guys seen the Hasbro 6-figure Alpha Flight box set?
So is that
That's
like,
probably what it would look like.
so that'd be like Vindicator, Sasquatch, Puck, all them?
So the box set from Hasbro does not include Vindicator. He's a separate purchase. It does have Guardian. It does not have Sasquatch. He's a separate purchase, but it has Puck, Aurora, North Star, Shaman, one more. Who am I thinking about? There's 6 of them.
Was it Monera?
No, it's Marina. It's not Marina.
Marina.
It's-
Talisman.
Thank you. Yes.
That was not me. That thankfully Twitch chat. That was Track Rex in Twitch chat.
Thank you,
Totally.
Twitch.
Well done.
I will give credit where credit is due. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and switch it over to where back to where they can see the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, we'll talk about that one real quick. Easier for a local.
Cool.
So before we get rolling on this, Brandon, are we on
Yeah,
the remark
yeah,
now?
they can see it.
So obviously, Strange Academy 6 is the beginning of something that we've found to be one of the best cover series we have ever sold in the this Color Bleed set that David has named it. This is the origin story. This is the beginning of that series. It is also probably by far the most expensive book that of any of the aftermarket book prices that David has done for us. It is by far, it's a beautiful, elegant, gorgeous cover, which we'll get to show off the original today, which is going to be exciting. And this will be, as of right now, the first and only remark for the time for this book. If you paid attention to Blue Label pricings on eBay, just the Blue Label 9.8, not signature, not anything else, is up to about $190 on the Virgin cover. So when you look at this and see this beautiful remark, so it'll be first yellow label, first first remark.
Hey, Darren, I'm going to cut you off. There's a lot of the other talking in the room's kind of drowning you out, so just to let you know.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
You're okay. So, yep, if you heard any of that, great. So,
all right, well, we'll take it from here, guys. All right, everyone, we'll go ahead and get this one going here. All right. Yeah, so Strange Academy 6, the first of the Color Bleed series.
See how short you can make the rules this time.
Facebook chat, Twitch video, 2 minutes, then 30 seconds, reset at bid. That was pretty short.
That's pretty short.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll go ahead. We're going to go ahead and start the bidding off on this particular lot at $100. And that starts now. David 200. Well, hey, Dusty. Hey, Dusty, we think you might have left your sunglasses here after the podcast the other night, by the way. We have them here in the booth with us, if you're still listening.
Ashley, 250. Jared, 300.
Jared's high bidder at 300. Oh, it was Snowbird, not Talisman in the box set.
Brandon, 310.
Okay. And Demarius says the Deadly class is coming out next month. So, yeah. Brandon is the high bidder at 310. Did he just outbid himself twice? Is that what I'm saying? He really wants this book.
Daniel, 400.
Okay. Of course, any bid, if the bid goes 500 or higher, we will grade it included.
Current bid is 400.
Okay. After this timer ends, I will start the 30-second lag timer. Kind of the main thing to kind of keep your eyes on, guys, is regardless of the latency, just watch the chat. The chat has the bids. So, regardless of what you hear in the video, until we call it, until we say that's not there. All right, 15 seconds until I go to the lag timer. 400 is the high bid right now. We're going to lag timer in 3, 2, 1. Okay. 400 is the high bid. Any bid during this timer resets it. Seconds. Brandon 410 resetting. 15 seconds. Brandon is the high bid at 410. Going once, going twice, sold.
All right, Brandon Burke, 410. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to add grading to that.
I think he won the last one, didn't he?
I don't know if it was the last one, but he's won one tonight.
Okay. He won it at 410?
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and don't forget about the contest of this week's 7 exclusives. I'm not going to put them on camera, but it's our Alien 1 exclusives, our Carnage Black, White, and Blood exclusives, Sonya 15. You definitely want to pick those up. So share on Facebook, comment shared, subscribe on YouTube, comment subscribed, and get yourself entered in. We'll do those drawings here shortly. We'll kick it back over to the Hawaii crew right now.
Okay. So David, if you didn't know, Brandon just won the Strange Academy 6 at $410.
Thank you, Brendan. Really appreciate it. Honored to do it. I believe that's the only one that's out there. First time I've ever drawn Scarlet Witch as a remark on anything. So thank you for being the first to grab it.
I just like hearing Brandon wins.
Because your name's Brandon.
Is that why?
No. No way.
All right, so I have a question for David. What games are you playing right now?
Right now, I'm addicted to this game called, I think it's like The Legend of Obra Dinn. I'm playing it on Switch, and I've never played anything like it. It is a murder mystery at sea. You board this ship, and you're tasked to figure out how all the 60 people aboard died. So you kind of go back in time mystically and see how they died and figure out, who killed who with what, or what monster killed that guy, what weapon. It's like a murder logic puzzle. I love it.
That is hilarious. I have not heard of it.
I want to be the murderer on the ship.
But I equally like, I like Mario. I was giving myself a little nostalgic hit of I played Spyro in college, and they have an absolutely amazing remastered version called Spyro Reignited, so I was playing that a little bit. The Witness is another really amazing puzzle game, which, by the way, is free. PlayStation is putting out a series of 10 games for free right now, I think on the 25th or something, or, this month. One of them is The Witness, and it's maybe one of my top 3 games of all time. So if you don't have that game and you like puzzles, that is perhaps the best puzzle game that's ever been made. Not to mention Horizon Zero Dawn is going to be one of the free ones too. That's
really
freaking amazing.
Love that game.
Yeah, that's going to be free. So if you don't have that one yet, you'd be crazy not to scoop it up for free.
So
is that only on PS5 or all the PlayStation?
This is PS4. I don't have a PS5 yet.
Okay, cool.
before
Yeah.
we go live. So, you came from the video game world.
Yeah.
I know you worked on Harry Potter,
Yes.
in a mobile app version, right?
Yes, sir.
What other video games have you worked on?
Well, not that many because it takes years to make each one. But
Okay.
the total list is City of Heroes. Worked on that for 4 years. Then I worked on a game called Tome, which was only out briefly. It didn't stick around too long, unfortunately. And a game called Backyard Monsters Unleashed, which was on mobile but didn't stick around too long. Then I moved over to a different company and made Avengers Academy, which was out for, I want to say, like 2 or 3 years. And then Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery, which has been out at least 3 years and is going strong. I think it's the only major. Well, okay, there's Wizards United as well, but among the titles out there, it's one of the very few Harry Potter games, and the fandom seems to really like it. So I suspect that one will be around for a while. So if you guys like Marula Snide, I designed her. If you like Professor Rakepick, I designed her.
Nice.
So, whose artist work, living or dead, do you wish you owned a piece of their artwork?
Tie between Adam Hughes and J. Scott Campbell, just because they've been my favorites for years and years and years and years. I couldn't say which one I'd love the most. They're both wonderful.
'Cause I don't think you're much older than me, right? You're probably about my age, right?
I'm 42,
So
so
you're about 2 years older than I am.
mhm,
So we grew up in that same era
right
of
in that-
comics.
yeah. Yeah, I was saying yesterday how Jim Lee was the gateway drug that got me excited about comics and comic art and collecting and all that stuff, and then I discovered so many more since then, and yeah, continue to be a big fan of so many of the great artists out there.
So for me, like based on when I actually started collecting, all those guys had just left for Image. So it was actually for me, it was Greg Capullo and
Mhm.
the two Kuberts, and a couple of those other guys that had kind of taken over the reins on all of the X-Men books.
I remember I was equal opportunity. You know, I had bought the X-Men when they were doing it, and I bought the X-Men after they were had left, and I liked those runs just as well. And not only that, but into Joe Madureira.
Oh
and,
yeah,
and
Joe.
beyond.
Man, his run on Uncanny X-Men was just. There's not many runs like it. Not that I can
No.
think of.
What's amazing is, like, as great as that run was, the quality of Battle Chasers was 10 times better for me. Like-
So, and you've seen the news about Battle Chasers finally getting a new issue.
Of course, yeah.
So-
I like the Ludo Lullaby's, new pages that's been shown. That's a great artist in their own right, and I understand he's continuing, or Madureira is continuing to write it.
That's good.
So I'll be there for sure.
Because this is what, about 20 years in the waiting?
Yeah, right? Something like that.
I mean, it actually goes back and actually is a longer wait than Kevin Smith's Black Cat was it Black Cat? Kevin Smith did a Black Cat comic. Had Kingpin in it. Like 1, 2, and 3 came out like on time.
Yeah.
And then 2 years later, there was a 4 that all of a sudden just kind of threw Nightcrawler into the story. But the story ended 3 with Kingpin had just drugged Black Cat.
Uh-huh.
And it shows what he's about to do. Like, it's not good things.
Ugh.
And then 2 years later, they come back and they've completely ignored the way that 3 ended.
That's awkward.
So, yeah. But,
Yeah, I recall Battle Chasers ended on a cliffhanger, and then we had the video game Night War came out. I played a little of that. I don't know. I mean, I like Darksiders as well. He's just a great artist. He's, I explain to people sometimes there are two kinds of artists. Like, you can be the one in a million Joe Madureira type, where you're just born amazing, and by high school you're drawing professional comics, which is what happened to him.
wow.
Or you're like me, where you aren't really born with a whole lot of natural talent, but you have a whole lot of natural willpower, and that's what gets you there eventually, I hope.
Well, I mean, but you've been in comics for 20 years already, so that says a lot.
Well, I feel like it was hard, to learn, the things I wanted to learn and get to the level that I wanted to get to. Like, I could perceive it years before I could get there, and it took a long time to climb the mountain. And I still feel like I'm climbing the mountain every day. So.
Well, I would say your fan base will tell you that you've arrived at the top.
Oh, you're too kind. That's why I love working with you guys.
Well, I mean, look at the people watching and being part of the live shows and the amount of stores reaching out to you. Not to mention, a lot of artists wouldn't have covers if not for stores requesting them. You have to somehow fit in store covers amongst your already busy schedule with the publishers, which says a whole lot about, where your art is in the publisher's eyes. So
It's really coming along. I'm really glad about where we're getting to, and I'm finally starting to feel some happiness with the way the art is coming out. I don't see. There was a time when I would just be so disappointed about what it was lacking, and now I think it's getting closer to matching what's in my brain.
right. That has to be. I mean, from an artist's point of view, when you sit down to think about a cover, I mean, do you have the finished project for the most part thought of before you ever start, or is it something like you sit down and you just have to fiddle with it until you get there, and then you start seeing it about middle of the way through?
Yes and no. So the really weird thing that happens when you're drawing a cover is there are two totally different processes that happen. So what I mean is when you start off and you're planning the cover, that's really separate from drawing the cover.
Right.
Like what is the cover even going to be is a mental exercise, and it's about what you've read in your life and what experiences you've had and what's funny to you and the connections that your brain makes. It has nothing to do with drawing. And then once that's all settled, once you figure out what you're actually drawing, then you do this complete hard cut to something else where you're just trying to build that image in a very construction brick by brick kind of way. And it's almost like your brain turns off and you get into this flow state where you could be watching a show on your side monitor and just kind of going through the process of making it. It doesn't require the brain the way that the first part did, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it feels. Yeah.
Thanks, Ron, Larry, for watching. Appreciate you joining us.
Hi,
I'm
Ron.
excited to see you next month, sir.
Yep. So we should have an auction here now. I think
We
Brandon's gonna
should.
come in.
We totally
Do
should.
what?
I'm going to go ahead and put it on screen right now,
Okay, we'll let Darren talk about the Virgin Mary.
briefly.
The Virgin Mary Jane. I don't think there's really a whole lot to explain about it. I mean, it's the Gwenum versus Carnage 2. Of course, it's the Virgin cover. With number 1, we went with Gwenum as the primary and then Gwen as the secondary. This one, I just loved the way that MJ came out sitting up against that wall. That's why we put the trade dress on this one. I think every way that you designed her on this one was a beautiful way of the way her character's always been in the comic books. Very strong, very beautiful. Just, for the longest time, her character has been a supermodel. So everything about it speaks volumes, and that's why this one got the 2 covers versus the Carnage version. Equally as beautiful in its own right, but this one just speaks Mary Jane. So that's why we're going to start with this one. It's a beautiful MJ.
Take it over.
Take
All
it
right.
over.
All right, guys. So Facebook auction, and 2-minute timer. After 2 minutes, we'll start 30-second timer. All bids on Facebook. Here we go. We're going to start the bidding at $100. $100 to start off this piece. Get it. Get it, get it. They can still hear me, but Ron is saying, congrats, David. Your work is great.
David, 100.
David starting the bidding at 100.
Shayla, 150.
I'm not yawning. You're yawning. You guys should have Tanner paint some D&D minis and sell them.
I could do it.
Ooh, we could do that. He's got to paint my Infinity Armies first. And my Blood Bowl stuff.
Ron, 200.
Ooh. That just means David's going to have to buy some of Ron's stuff when he comes here in April.
Shayla, 225.
Reciprocity.
So I think the problem with that is we haven't really gauged the gaming market on our sales.
We'll get there. But we will totally keep that in mind.
Alexander, 250.
I think all re-marques should be like that.
Ashley, 270.
Shayla, 275.
Shayla, 275.
And as with the others, if the bidding gets to 500 or higher, we will include grading. Gwenum remark will be coming. Right now, we've got the Mary Jane remark. Jerome. Okay, we are 15 seconds from the lag timer or the over timer, but we do have a Gwenum coming. Okay, going to the 30-second timer in 2, 1, boom, boom. Okay, Shayla has the high bid at 275. Any bids during this time resets the clock.
The extra grading, I don't remember off the top of my head, but
think
it's
it's-
between 40 and 50 bucks.
Yeah, it was something like that. Chris says the
Patrick, 285.
resetting. $15. Going once, going twice, sold.
Patrick Cleary for 285.
All right.
Let me know if you'd like to add grading to that. Also, please make sure you have an account on the Unknown Comics website, so that way I can send you an invoice.
All right, guys. Don't forget about the Facebook shares contest. Don't forget about the YouTube subscribe and support contest. And we will kick it back over. Oh, there's a preview of the next auction, but we're going to kick it back over to the Hawaii crew right now. They've got their mic muted.
Unmute our mic there, sorry.
There we go.
Making sure. We're back here. So we'll probably do another one here in just a couple minutes, Brandon.
Okay.
Because we got 2 more to go before the.
So probably about 350. We'll do that when I'm stuck up there right before you guys took the camera away.
350? Oh, at 850.
Oh, at 850.
Come on.
Yeah, sorry, 50. I'll just leave the time off. The first part.
You people on Hawaii time.
Yep. I'm almost adjusted, and I feel like as soon as I get there, we're going to fly home, and I'm going to be screwed all over again.
So, David, you're going to have to share a little bit. I'm assuming, being from Hawaii, you surf.
No,
Really?
no, not at all.
So we're trying surfing for the first time tomorrow. We actually got lessons. So
I'm so proud of you guys.
you've now not helped me at all.
That's like, Darren, that's like saying, hey, you're from Texas. Do you ride a horse to work?
He does. His name is Jeep.
So I've surfed a couple of times, very modest stuff. I've paddleboarded, I have boogie boarded, snorkeled, but I really haven't surfed that many times in my life. You know, like I like going in the ocean just fine, but I don't go out where the surfing happens too much.
So the surfing lessons that we're taking had a comment section,
Mm.
and we left one comment: "Don't
Okay.
let us die."
If you died in the surf at Waikiki Beach, that would be the most infamous death possible.
He did break his arms going about 2 miles an hour on dirt bikes.
It was 5.
Oh no!
It was 5.
So
It was during
surfing's gonna kill you then.
I think my friend Bob the Turtle, who comes and finds me every time I enter the ocean, who found me a couple times yesterday, he even waved at us.
Yeah, that's
His little
fair.
flipper came up out of the water a few times
Aw.
as he harassed me. I think he'll probably be the end of me. He'll probably come up the end of the surfboard and take me out. I'll probably hit my head on his shell, and that'll be the end of me.
Now I haven't surfed too much, but it's a cool feeling. You feel like a badass when you actually make that balance, even if just for a moment before you fall off. But you feel cool.
That moment.
That brief 2-second moment.
Yeah, women have an advantage on this. I guess center of gravity makes a big difference. So whenever my wife and I go out to do paddleboarding or something, I'm the one falling in the ocean all the time, and she's staying up and hardly ever falls. So
Oh, my center of gravity's real bad.
Because of that big head.
you're gonna have a lot of fun. That sounds awesome. If you have a chance, there's a place called Sandy Beach. There are many great beaches around the island, but there's a place called Sandy Beach where the locals go. Do not get in the water. The shore break is intense. It will kill you.
Oh,
like,
okay.
you were
I
not
did not
prepared.
know that's where you were going with that
No,
conversation.
no, that's not where I'm going with it. I'm
Okay.
just pre-warning you.
Yeah. Before I forget to say this.
Right. The important thing is do not go in Sandy Beach. The shore break will kill you. But that being said, do go to Sandy Beach and watch the locals have no problem with the shore break and surf like crazy somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible, like how good people can get at this stuff. Not me, others.
All right, guys. Well, I have gone ahead and put the Gwenum cover up on screen.
Cut off. You got cut off, lady.
Save your story.
I'll save it.
We'll finish your story.
All right, so this next one, Venom versus Carnage.
This was the second in the Color Bleed series. I think we only didn't do a remark on one of the Gwynoms. Or one, like, there's 1, 2, and 3, and we didn't do 3.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, we went with Mary Jane instead.
All right, guys. Well, we will go ahead and take it from here. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and start this auction. Same rules apply. We'll start the bidding off for this one at $100 starting now. All right, looking for 100 to start off the Gwynom auction here, guys.
Benjamin Witt, 100. Glenn, 150. Shayla, 250. Current high bid is Daniel, 255. Glenn, 275.
Just over a minute left. Shayla, 280. I just love how feverishly you write. No, don't scratch that out. 280, don't scratch that out.
Timothy, 300. Till my brain slips a gear and I just stare and don't know what to do.
Right. Deer in the headlights. Okay, 30 seconds left on the main timer till we go to the resetting lag timer. Timothy is the high bidder at 300. People going in and out of the shot on that camera, it keeps like auto-focusing.
Oh, yeah.
15 seconds left on the main timer.
Glenn, 315.
Going to the lag timer in 3, 2, 1. All right. Current high bid is 315. Any bid inside this timer resets it. And sold. Sorry, I
All
looked
right.
away.
Glenn Stein, 315. Glenn, let me know if you'd like to add CGC with that, and please make sure you have an account on the Unknown Comics website so I can send you an invoice.
I'll go ahead and send this to them so they can congratulate him. 315. Congratulations, Glenn. All right, let's kick it back over to the island. All right, guys, y'all are up.
This is as close as we're going to get to a comic show.
Should be. Yep, we're on muted here.
September.
Yeah.
All right. So, Amy, you were rudely interrupted by Brandon before you were about to make a comment.
Rudely interrupting is the only way I interrupt.
Rudely interrupted.
The one time I speak, man. The one time.
Yes, get him. Get him.
I was just saying we drove down to a lighthouse.
Yeah.
We're watching surfers.
Awesome, right?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to say.
So we learned yesterday.
Wait a second. I'm getting a ton of grief for that crap story.
So we learned watching surfing's like watching NASCAR. You really just watch it for the wipeouts. Like you're just watching to see how epic the falling is.
I've never seen it in person, but sometimes you see these shots on television of somebody catching like an incredibly high pipeline, and that's impressive on its own.
Oh yeah.
But people do go out for those, when it happens. They have the surf report, and people go out and watch it and go catch the waves when the time is right. But I personally haven't done it. A lot of respect for those guys. I could never do it.
So we have one more auction before we get to this next part. We'll start this at the top of the hour, most likely. Let you go through what you're about to do now.
You okay if we go a little over?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have 5 minutes till then, so you can start.
Oh, okay. So we can start.
Yeah, we got about 6 minutes left.
So this is going to be my favorite part of the whole weekend, is being able for you to be able to go through and show off all the original art that we are taking home with us.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming.
For all of you guys who keep asking, like, where's the original for this? The answer is you'll never see it again.
Unless you come to our store.
Unless you come to our store, then you can see it again. Just today, someone on our Instagram was like, I'm looking for that original for Strange Academy 6, and I just responded, I own it. It's mine now.
Well, I appreciate you supporting the arts, Darren. You know,
So-
I'm excited to share these. This is quite a collection of them that we've been banking over time, and I knew you were coming, so I didn't bother sending it to you. And hand it off to you today at last.
Yes, I've been so excited about this pickup.
Darren's having a really hard time with this portfolio. Just can't,
Yes,
you can maybe see it a little bit on screen.
Yeah, and him slamming it on the table next to the microphone is fantastic as well.
Yeah, he's struggling extra hard here.
All right, so we're going to start with the first one.
All right.
Which is, I'll let you hold them.
Right. I feel like that camera's a million miles away. Can you guys see this?
Yes.
Okay.
But they can.
It's like zoomed? Pretty zoomed?
We're waiting to see how it shows up.
Good enough?
Here, this is
Give us about 10 seconds.
Okay. You let me know.
You can start talking about it, and then we'll start
Okay,
zooming in.
let's start talking about it. So this is...
It's really blown out. So...
I'll let them worry about that.
I can try to adjust it a little bit on my end to not be so blown out. If y'all can try to zoom it in, I can try to bring the
You can put
iris
it right
down.
here on the desk in front of us if we want. This seems like it'd be more in focus.
There we go.
There we go.
That's
Okay.
better.
So here's the first one in question. This is Strange Academy 4. Maybe our second effort together, I think.
I believe that it was the second cover.
Right. And this was fun because we had magic, but in this book she's dressed as a teacher, so it sort of inspired a hot for teacher theme. And given that she basically is like Queen of Hell, this worked out very well, I think.
Yes.
Darren had the bright idea to have the coffee mug in there. That was too good not to do. And I contributed a flaming apple on top of that. So all the Hellfire teacher jokes all in one cover. This is, I think, why people like this cover so much.
Well, and it's not to mention a super sexy cover, because what person didn't have a secret crush on a teacher?
Mm,
I mean, everybody's got their story.
there you go.
All right, now.
Thank you. So, color bleed happened because I was really up against a wall on a deadline. I was trying to think really hard. How can I make a quality cover that isn't going to take 3 weeks to make? And I came up with this, which is a modified version of those negative space covers that you've seen, where the color from the outside overtakes the inside. And what I didn't want to do is, like in this case, it wouldn't work because her arms would disappear. She would just look like her hands had fallen off, and that doesn't work. So I came up with this alternate version of color bleed, or of negative space, that I have started calling color bleed recently. And from here, I scanned it in and worked some Photoshop magic and made perhaps one of the best covers I have ever made. So didn't expect that, but sometimes life surprises you.
Next one is the other theme that we started working on that we'll revisit again after the summer.
Right. Well, we've talked today a lot about how much love I have for video games and, my familiarity with video games. So when Darren pitched doing a video game themed cover, I thought, well, this is perfect. That definitely sounds like something up my alley. And, it's got characters that I love in it and some characters that I've never even drawn before, like Sinister. I'd never drawn before this cover. And I was surprised at how long some of these details took to make. This took quite a bit of time to put together, and then even more time to do up in Photoshop with all the whiz-bang special effects. But I couldn't be more proud of the final. I thought it was it's a meaty lunch. You look at that, there's a lot to look at.
Oh yeah, and it just shows the the range. I mean, from magic to the color bleed to the video games, just all the different styles that you're able to just manipulate.
Thank you. I like to think that, if you just can do one thing, that's cool, but really the mark of a great artist like J. Scott Campbell or anybody we've talked about today is just how they impress you in all these different ways. So I want to be like that. I want to give you something surprising and different and be able to work in a bunch of different ways. That being said, we have so much territory to explore in Color Bleed. This was a follow-up to that, this time with Gwenom. Gwenom just has such a cool design. I was just really excited to work with it. And you should see how this looks in the final version. It has a really hot pink that I don't know if I could paint by hand without a special, tube of that color.
You have to create a whole new pink, like
Yeah.
Greg Horn with a whole new black. Oh, that story.
San Diego. Okay. Anyway, that's the original art.
No, I was going to decide it. The final has a even more hot pink look to it that I think really makes it pop. And I think, going forward on these color bleeds, red always works, but you kind of want to see the range, like
Right.
how cool would it be to have, green and brown and like I have a whole rainbow of these things at some point.
Well, I think that's the goal, though. I mean, I think that's what we're really working towards, is to be able to knock out all the different colors.
Yeah,
Here's the B cover to that, which was the secret variant.
right. So similar pose, but I, of course, changed her hands to be a little more heroic and spidery rather than terrifying and gross like Gwenom. And just trying to get something that feels really appropriate to the character and as iconic as I can make it. The pink really pops out here against the mostly white cover.
Oh, yeah. How long we got before they need to...
It's the top of the hour now, but how many more pieces do we have to go through?
We have 5 more to work through.
Okay. So
You want to
Speak
go
through
ahead and cut to the
quickly?
auction?
well, if you want to do that.
Okay. We'll start working through them. This, again, as we were explaining, I felt like this was an embodiment of Mary Jane's in every way the pose is.
Yeah, I was going for that too. When I do something that has just a singular character and the focus is all on them, I want it to be essential or quintessential, I guess is the word, iconic as much as I can. Something that might look great in any medium. Like if this was a poster or a T-shirt or anything, I want it to look good in any context.
So, funny story, it wasn't here until just recently I figured that the A meant in your DNA signature. Art.
Oh, well, you know what? It wasn't actually intended to be art, but I like that it can be interpreted that way.
Huh.
I was just literally going for J Lo,
Oh, okay. See, I just thought it was David Nakayama art.
Right, and my kids think that too, and I'm cool with it. Like, I like that people
I always
interpret
actually
it.
thought it was just because the last your name. Which
You're right, yeah.
yeah.
Either way-
I am right. You're right.
I just like it. I just like it when a signature spells something out. Adam Hughes got there perhaps first. His
Yep.
Stegman draws a little Stegosaurus.
Which is, I wasn't meant to ask that. I completely
Right.
forgot. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one as well.
Like artists, our signatures are the brand, and if you're communicating something clever, funny in your signature, why wouldn't you? So
Right.
that's all I wanted to get out of it. So yeah, here's the second one. I love doing the pair together because you can push, the hero more heroic and the villain really gross and disturbing, and you put them next to each other, and what a set, right? So that's what I like about these two.
All right. And then we have Gwenom versus Carnage number 3.
Yep. This one was kind of a technical challenge. I felt like I got the characterization just right on her, but the technical challenge here is I had to make a solid black and a solid white cover. And they couldn't be further apart. So to get there, I made this sort of gray middle ground that could be processed in the Photoshop phase to get me both versions that I needed. Although on the anti-venom version of this, there was a lot of additional stuff that had to be added for her costume.
Next, we have 2 more left, and then one we can't talk about, but it's amazing.
I just colored this morning. I wanted to make sure these could go home with Darren today in their final form. Mixed up some nice blue, and I feel like that thing we're looking for, like all the colors represented is starting to happen, right? Like this is the only blue one I've ever done, and certainly one of my all-time favorite characters. And I feel like that whenever you draw her, having that mix of her powers along with her ninja skill is the way to go. So I don't know how I would make this a more quintessential Psylocke.
Well, and the red just pops off of the blue.
Right, and that is the beautiful thing when you're doing these covers. If the character has a third color, that third color will always pop, and and if they just have the one, like the next one we're going to show, that works too. It kind of works as a monochrome, you know.
So the next one to me is one of the I just love the way this turned out.
Thank you. Yeah, well, you have to thank Marco Cicchetto for the amazing design of Elektra as Daredevil. No one saw this coming. It was sort of secretly released and blew up the internet when it happened. Very exciting new storyline. Really great step forward for the character. I remember you giving me a choice of what did I want to draw for this cover, and I immediately said I'd love to draw Elektra and Daredevil because I'd never drawn any characters in that family before.
Right.
Told my editor at Marvel the same thing, and she's like, "Really?" So, yeah, the love was there, and I like to think it came out on the page.
Oh yeah, it turned out stunning.
Thank you.
And then the one piece that we can't show, we can name the name of the piece, but I can't show it. But this Boba Fett cover.
What?
Yeah, this Boba Fett cover is pretty special.
I can't wait to share that, you guys.
Yeah, we can't show it. Marlo, if you're listening, I'm sorry, we've seen it.
At this point, it's a transaction between
it's
customer.
just a transaction between a customer and blah, blah, blah. Just here. So we're in Hawaii.
Look, he didn't say
So
stop.
yeah, I just flipped them through the book, and I was like, there it is. Okay.
Yep.
So, but man, y'all guys, I can't wait to share this cover. It truly is just amazing.
Oh, thank you.
And David, I know that we're fixing to do one more auction. We have a few more books to sign. Guys, if you were going to buy anything, buy it now.
Yeah, we have just so this auction's over, and then the guys do the outro. So if you want to get anything, now's the time. We got about probably 10, 11 minutes left in the show. So.
Yeah, so I mean, don't miss out on anything that you want to buy. We're not leaving the collection up. When this is over, we're done until we come back to see David later in the year when we get another collection of books that we can bring out and see him. So don't miss out. Don't miss out on signatures, because I'm assuming as of right now you have no conventions for 2021 planned.
Not a one. This event is it, you guys. So thank you for participating and making me feel like I'm at a comic show again.
Yeah, and again, we do plan on coming out again towards the later part of the year to be able to do this whole thing again, because it's Hawaii,
And we're going to have a lot more stuff with it.
And our rules for travel are so much easier than you coming to us and then going home means so much more work for you. It means isolation for 10 days if you don't get that COVID test. And
He said because of the time difference, we can show it.
we can't, though. So, we can't. But it's amazing.
All right, Brandon, you guys ready to do this auction? And
We
after
can-
that, we can do our goodbyes from here.
We can totally do that. So we are looking at the Strange Academy 3. Strange Academy 3. 4. Dang it. Tanner, you're supposed
It's
to
still good job.
you're supposed to keep me straight on these. Of course, the magic remark here. Let me go full screen with it real quick. Change my. There you go. So now you can see the magic remark there in the corner. There you go. Chris or Darren is going to move it. Awesome remark. That's just fantastic. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and get cranking on this auction. Of course, Facebook, and then yeah. So we're going to go ahead and start the bidding off at $100, and that starts now.
David 100.
David 100 to start it off. We should call this the Van Halen cover.
There you go. Tony 250.
Do you get it?
Do good.
Okay. I'm sure.
Bradley 300.
Hoo-ha.
I was raised on 80s metal. John 350.
Terry 400. Of course, if this this goes over 500,
High bid's 400, you guys.
yeah, for Benjamin,
Benjamin,
425. I'll help Tanner, but I got to watch the timer too. So Benjamin's still the high at 425. If this goes over 500, we will include grading. Otherwise, it is extra. One minute left on the main timer. 450, Terry. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Stealing time.
Benjamin, 460.
Thunder Stealer. I bet at 460, just over 30 seconds left in the main timer.
Terry, 500.
All right, so starting now, grading is now included. Seconds left on the main timer.
Benjamin, 510.
Okay, going to the 30-second timer. In
Terry,
3,
525.
2, 1. Okay, 525 is the high bid. Every bid inside this timer resets it.
Benjamin, 535.
Resetting. Yeah, we know. I'm going to actually turn the music down just a little bit, though. It defaults a little higher than I want it. 20 seconds left on the lag timer.
Terry, 550.
Resetting.
Benjamin, 560.
Resetting. What's funny, guys, is we can't hear the music right now. We have it set up to where we don't hear it in our ear because we hear it all the time. It would drive us nuts.
Terry, 600.
Resetting.
Ben, 610.
Resetting.
Terry concedes.
All right. Going once, going twice, and sold.
Sold to Benjamin Witt for 610.
All right. Congratulations, Benjamin. That was a...
Please make sure you have an account on the Unknown Comics website. That way I can get you an invoice sent.
And we will grade that for free. Well, not for free, included. Let's see. Let's say. It's not free if you paid $610. It's included, let's say that. All right, well, let's go ahead. We'll kick it back to Hawaii, guys. Can y'all move the camera so we can actually see David's face, his eyes? That'd be cool. Let's see. Back to you guys. There we go. They're doing some adjustments for us. And y'all's mic's muted again if y'all are wanting to talk.
We
We
back
will-
on, Brandon?
Yeah, y'all are back on. We will do our giveaway drawings here just shortly after we say our goodbyes to David and the crew. So.
Okay. I'll make sure we're on the same page here. All right, so we'll kind of get it wrapped up here on this side. We're live here, so we can
Okay.
say our...
So we're saying
Adios.
goodbye now. We're saying bye to Hawaii. Well, we're still here for 4 more days after this. So we'll still be here for a little bit. But David, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you, 1, being able to do this for us, and 2, for all of the amazing books that you've done. I can't wait for conventions to come back just to hang them up on the wall.
Oh man, I can't wait to.
It's going to be really awesome to be able to just see a whole section dedicated to your work. We will start resuming shows in July. As of right now, our first show is set for July, so here we go. We're gonna get the ball rolling. But
Exciting.
when you get to start coming out and making shows, I can't wait for you to come by and see all the work that you've done displayed on our wall. But I truly do appreciate everything that you do for Unknown Comics.
Oh, likewise. Thank you so much for having me, for bringing this entire crew out here. I'm really honored that you would do that. I'm really excited you get to go and experience Hawaii in a way that you haven't before. That's going to be really fun for you guys. Next time we're here, hopefully the pandemic is, not a thing anymore. I'd love to have you guys over for dinner, take you around personally a lot more than this time.
Oh yeah, and that'd be great.
Thanks to the store host,
Yes,
Other Realms as well.
Yep.
Thank you so much for hosting us, David, and allowing us to use a piece of your store to do this.
Thank you, Other Realms.
Yes.
And again, if you come to Honolulu, Hawaii, this needs to be a destination trip. This is
It's a great
like a landmark for comic nerds. You have to see it. It's like going to New York and not seeing Midtown. You made a mistake.
He's got miniatures. He's got hobby stuff. He's got a great setup here. Absolutely amazing.
So we've been staring at the amazing painted figures for 40K this entire time. So
You can see him behind our auction spot that we had there. So what a great backdrop for that. So
Yeah,
Really
I've
appreciate
been
it.
getting mad at all your Hawaii pictures. Tanner's been getting mad at all the miniatures pictures.
so
You too?
yeah, I believe so. Right?
those you've already
Oh,
signed.
Okay.
So we're
All
just
right,
letting, go ahead and get ready to pull the orders down.
Get everything ready to come down. Thank you guys so much for joining us live, and we'll hand it back to you guys to shut it down.
All right, guys. David and team, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure getting to join y'all and get to talk and have a good time. So, all right, guys. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and draw for our winners for our exclusive giveaways. Of course, this is 7 books, the Red Sonja 15, the trading versions of the 2 different Alien 1 exclusives, and then the trading version of the Carnage Black, White, and Blood. So here we are drawing for the Utubes drawing. Thank you to everybody who shared and did all that. We appreciate you. All right, Tanner, get to grabbing.
MRD Wheels 11.
MRD Wheels 11. I will go ahead and...
So if you're watching, you'll have to give us what your Unknown Comics account is under so we can send those to you.
Let's see here. MRD Wells. You win. No, it's not typing. Stupid keyboard. All right. And I will draw our Facebook share contest winner. I don't think you shook it up enough, so I'm gonna turn around. I'm not gonna look. I'm gonna grab this person right here. And that person is Jerry Whitman.
Okay, Jerry, please make sure you also have an Unknown Comics account. That way we can send you your prize.
All right. Well, guys, thanks so much again for joining us. It was such a fun time. We love it when y'all are asking questions, getting involved. The auctions were super hot tonight. That's awesome. Those re-marques were definitely worth it. Thanks again for joining us. We'll be back next Friday with our live sale. We'll figure out what we're going to do. We don't have a signing-related live sale coming up, so
We'll have to think about it.
We'll have to think about it and actually find something awesome for y'all to show y'all next week. Have a great week. We'll see you on Friday. Thanks.